Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Scaresbrook, otherwise known as the Intrepid Wino, and welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. If you aren't familiar with this series, I open bottles of Australian wine. I haven't done any New Zealand wine yet. That possibly could happen soon. And I essentially just share my impressions of the wine. I try and talk a little bit about it before sharing what I'm experiencing with the wine. I don't give any ratings. I basically say what I enjoy about it, what I think it has as a positive, and whether I would recommend it or not. Of course, I appreciate everyone's support, particularly those who are generous enough to give me some bottles to open up, because you might want to hear my thoughts on the wine. I also would like to share my thanks for supporting my podcast, the Vincast, which, if you haven't listened to it, is my podcast about wine. It's an audio podcast where I chat with a different person from the wine industry each episode, talk a bit about their background, their experiences and their philosophies, and sort of how that all plays into what they do with wine. In fact, my most recent guest was involved with this wine I'm going to be tasting today. So Daniel Fischl from Linnaea Vineyards is a viticultural consultant working all over the world and advising people about how best to work with their vineyards. And his wife Michelle is a winemaker, and together they craft wines from different areas in the world. So they work with some vineyards in Italy, in California, and they've got some other wines hopefully coming soon. But this is the wine from Australia they have currently available. It is from the Heathcote region, and Heathcote is about an hour and a half, I think, north of Melbourne. It is typically considered to be a reasonably warm climate, not too hot. Very, very well known for Shiraz, probably its most famous grape variety. It is gaining some popularity with alternative varieties, Italian grapes, some Spanish grapes as well. But this wine is made from Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I've looked at wines from places like the Margaret River, I think possibly the Yarra Valley, Coonawarra. These are considered classic Australian Cabernet regions. Heathcote is less associated with that grape variety, so I'm very, very interested to sort of see how this wine is shaping up. So it is the 2013 vintage, under a screw cap. I've got my plum glass here. Let's see what she's presenting. I'd also like to quickly thank people for their very positive feedback on my new facial edition. The beard, I usually am very clean shaven, so people are, I guess, are not used to seeing me with facial hair. I'm not used to seeing it, in fact, but it was a bit of a holiday kind of trial, and I think people seem to think it suits me, so I guess I'll hang on to it for a while. Okay, lovely kind of inky, purpley, burgundy kind of colour, reasonably dark, but not super intense. It has some light to it. But it's I guess it's a colour not super typical of Cabernet. Cabernet tends to be a bit more purple. For me, it does smell quite like Heathcote. It's got this kind of very bright red fruit, sort of chocolatey, black, or actually more red licorice, carob, black currant kind of thing. Actually more like, what's Ribena made from? I guess probably there's some cranberries in there as well. It does have some kind of plum notes in there and some cassis to a certain extent, which are quite Cabernet specific tasting or aromatic notes. But yeah, for me it looks more Heathcote than it does Cabernet, which to be honest is actually a good sign. Let's taste. It certainly is instructed like a Shiraz. The tannins are a little bit tighter and also finer. It's not blousy at all. It's not broad. It's very juicy and exuberant. That kind of red and purple fruit does really explode in the mouth. The acidity is quite good. It's keeping things quite fresh. I'm not really seeing very much barrel influence on this wine, which is always positive in my opinion. But yeah, this is actually I think this is a very well managed wine. My first kind of instinct was that Cabernet from Heathcote might be a little bit too warm for Heathcote, but I guess if you get the right site, if it's a slightly cooler site and you get a slightly longer ripening, then you can get good Cabernet. And I think this definitely presents as a really high quality expression for Cabernet in Australia. I think this is exceptional. I'm very surprised at the quality of the wine, in fact. So I think that Daniel and Michelle have done an exceptional job, and also the vineyard owner, manager, grower has done a wonderful job as well. But thank you very much, Daniel, obviously for your time on the Vincast, episode number 78. And thank you for obviously generously donating some bottles for me to taste. And thank you to Michelle for making the wine, I guess. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button. Leave me a comment either on the intrepidwino.com channel or on the YouTube video itself. Subscribe to the Intrepid Wino channel. Send me an email or subscribe to the Vincast, and please leave a rating review if you can spare some time. But guys, hope you are having a wonderful January. Until next time, cheers.